If you are working remotely and if you are like me, you might always want to search for some improvements to increase efficiency. In this video, I am sharing my top 10 tips to increase your own focus, better organize projects, and improve your team communication while working remotely. Welcome, I'm MyCTOfriend, founder and CEO at MyCTOfriend. And during the past few years, I've worked and coached hundreds of startups. And most of them have remote teams and co-workers. And to me, there are three main challenges with remote work: focus, project organization, and communication. Let's start with the tips number 1 to increase your focus. Disable notifications. Every high-level entrepreneur I know are able to achieve amazing results by putting 100% of their focus on their current tasks. This is the reason why Warren Buffett doesn't have any smartphone. It's proven multitasking doesn't exist. Our brain instead only switch tasks. And to get the flow and put 100% of our capacity and creativity to a specific task, it usually takes at least several minutes. So any notification whatsoever is a performance killer. Tip number 2, batch and use time slots. It's hard to spot the flow. To enable our brain to achieve more, we need to give it the opportunity to focus on one thing at a time during a long enough time slot. So batch your tasks and remove any potential distraction during dedicated time blocks. When you feel the flow, stick to it until you feel your energy level decreasing. This single tip is really great. Maybe you might have heard of the game Don't Forget the Lyrics. They are able to batch 7 to 13 shows in a single day. If they are able to produce TV shows for more than 8 hours in a day, think about what you could achieve if you are 100% focused. One more tip to increase your focus is to use a dedicated workspace. There are two types of enemies to focus: the internal distractions, usually called the procrastination, or the external distractions. Like notifications, external distractions can also come from your environment. If you work from your kitchen, you might be tempted to get a snack during some challenging work. If you have kids or people who are doing their own thing around you, that's also a source of distraction. So be sure to have a dedicated space, if possible a dedicated room, where you can fully focus and where everyone will know that you are working and that it is forbidden to interrupt you. Now when it comes to project organization, of course working remotely doesn't make it easier. That's why the next tip is to centralize to-do lists. And for that, the tool you use doesn't really matter. The real challenge is to use one on a daily basis, being sure that each member of your team focus on their own goals and progress. And to better measure progress and efficiency, the next tip I recommend is to use a time tracker. There are countless time trackers. I've used Toggle, Harness, Time Doctors. Know that the only way to improve something is to measure it. And time trackers will allow you to do your personal and team introspective to understand where your energy went. Categorizing tasks by consumed time and letting you reprioritizing according to your business goals. Now the next one to improve your work organization is to define and use routines. There is a certain part of what we do on a daily basis that is achieved by automation. It's like driving or walking. It's hard on the beginning and then it becomes an habit. So create habits to allow you and your team to do things automatically. That's how we can increase our efficiency. Define both your personal routines as well as your team routines. And talking about improvement, one practice that I recommend to startup team is to share their acquired knowledge. The big advantage of a team is to have complementary skills. But complementary skills are useless if people around you don't know them. And the better way to master skills are to teach them. At MyCTOfriend, whenever we discover something new or something that could be useful for the team, we record quick videos to explain concepts with our own words and with example that speaks to us. It's fun and it generates interactions as well as improve the project execution. Now, last part is all about team communication, starting with the 3 types of remote meetings. During the past decades, our parents were used to pay phone by minutes, which means they taught us to be straight to the point and as brief as possible during phone calls. And that's a very biased way to use digital communication, because now we do not have that constraint anymore. I am not telling you that you should spend hours during meetings, but instead that you should categorize remote meetings among 3 different purposes. The first, an obvious one, is to create a goal-oriented meeting with a limited time. Usually, I recommend 30 minutes to an hour, with a proper agenda, goal to be met by the end of the meeting, and it's like if you were in a physical meeting room. The second one is what I call the open space meetings. Working alone is not easy at all, and sometimes it's useful to ask a quick question to your team without requesting a dedicated meetings. And what I am used to do is to have an open space meeting room open all day long. It's not mandatory to be there, but it's like being in the same room, and there might be some casual small talks, quick question, and anyone is free to mute or turn the speaker off. What is also cool is to synchronize focused time blocks with your team and catch up every hour or 2 to share progress and difficulties during the day. And last but not least is to emulate the coffee machine time. We use a tool called Donuts that recreate random weekly meetings with your teammate. We also do time to time a team lunch, and we just talk about anything during traveling and sports. It's a remote lunch, of course. And talking about that, there is one important thing about remote work. It cannot fully replace human interactions. And that's why we still recommend to do in-person meetings. That might sound surprising in a video about remote work, but although it's possible to master remote work, it is very, very important to establish personal connection as a person to be able to work effectively remotely. Based on where you are, we recommend to do an in-person workshop at least every quarter. But it could be every week, every month, semester, or every year if you have people all around the globe. It's just important to do not remove entirely in-person interactions. Now, very last tip, and I think the most important one from that video, is to send video messages, not emails. We are not using email at all in our company. Well, yes, we use email, but just for external communications. Instead, we use chat and video message. As example, we do a daily quick video to say hello to our team, to share our daily achievements, difficulties, and the next day goals. And during these short videos, we also often record our screen to show what we actually did during the day and ask for feedbacks. And if I would select the number 1 technique that changed my way of working during the past decade, it will be screencasting. So many wasted time describing things in a long email, describing steps in a Word document, while you could just show it on a screen, like if the person would be next to you. It's a game changer, and I recommend you to use it on a daily basis. Now, I hope this video was very helpful to help you improve your remote work organization, and if that's the case, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell icon for our latest video updates. And now, if you are serious about building a startup and want to become a better CEO and tech manager, find us on Instagram and visit MyCTOfriend.co for more startup management tips. I will see you in our next video.